Lock up your bikes and feel the heat. It's time for Like a Podcast, aka Podcast Gagotoku. I am your host, Argyle, and with me as always is Jordan.
Hello.
And we are back to discuss chapter number 3 of Yakuza 0.
A gilded cage.
A gilded cage.
A gilded cage.
How have you been doing this week?
I've been doing alright. I'm staying inside, washing my hands, eating hot chip and lye, doing all the things.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, these little excursions to not to Camarocho, to the new place, have really helped me through it.
Yeah, it's been an eventful week, not just because of the global pandemic, but because 2 new games came out and made it very hard for me to play the game.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
About.
We're living in a post-Doom and Animal Crossing world now.
Yeah, most people are playing Animal Crossing. I am also playing Animal Crossing, the New Horizons Animal Crossing, where you live on an island. Hit me up.
The one where the landlord exiles you. We love it.
Yeah, but he also exiles himself. So
he does. I wish all landlords would exile themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I finally unlocked the good friend of Isabel today, so she's here.
Oh, I don't have her yet. You need the town hall first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have town hall yet. I'm pretty close. Like, I've got
You're
the 3
close.
house plots filled in, and
You'll get there.
I got Ellie and Clay to move into 2 of them. I got them from Mystery Islands, and the third one is Cherry, Cheri. I think she's like.
I think I've got her.
She hasn't moved in quite yet, but the house is sold. So
I've got Pinky the Panda Pop Star. So pretty much everything you need. I'll tell you what. Not to we're talking about Yakuza here. We're not talking about. I mean, there are no animal Yakuza as far as I can tell. Maybe
also Doom Eternal is good. It's good.
Yeah, Doom Eternal looks pretty good. I'll pick that up again. But
I love to rip and tear.
Once Isabel shows up, I'll tell you what. The game really pops off.
Damn.
Like, you get a bunch of new shit. So,
yeah.
Get excited. Alright, besides that, we're talking about the other game, the only game. We're talking about Yakuza 0 again.
Yeah.
And we're talking about what I think is maybe one of the best introductory chapters of this series, possibly of all time.
This is,
It's a good one.
Yeah, this is Chapter 3, A Gilded Cage. If you see everybody who plays Yakuza 0, especially if it's their first game, they absolutely love this chapter.
Yeah, that's me. When I got to this chapter, this was like, the moment where the game really clicked for me was when I was walking around and I ran into the producers, and then the moment this game became like an immediate favorite was the part when I got to this chapter.
Yeah, you can't swing a cat without hitting somebody on Twitter talking about this scene.
Yeah,
like the introductory scene to this chapter in particular. It's
so good.
It's really, really good. Especially I love Kiryu. We love Kiryu here. We're both big Kiryu fans. But like the first 2 chapters are kind of just Kiryu going, it's time for me to live up to my family name and face full life consequences. Yes. Just kind of doing that, being serious, man. And then we get this chapter, which is has I'd say it's a lot more fun, but also has a lot more intrigue. Yeah,
it's good. It really is a huge shift of like sort of tone. Mm-hmm. And also just like it just takes it to this whole new level. Shall we begin? Shall we begin talking about it? Because I'll say one thing, which is if you cut out the massive cutscene at the beginning of this chapter, the chapter is not actually that long.
Yeah,
it's mostly just basically watching a movie. So we are not in Camarocho anymore. We're in a new city. We're in Osaka. We're in Sotenbori, which is the nightlife. Yeah, Sotenbori. Which is
I have such a hard time pronouncing it.
Yeah, Sotenbori.
I don't know if I should put in too much effort or not enough.
I say we put in the right amount of effort, but we don't need to put in that amount of effort to be correct about it, because then it would just sound weird with the English. Because we're both speaking English, so we can call it Sotenbori if we want. We're allowed to.
Okay.
So Sotenbori is the sort of touristy, nightlifey food district of Osaka. Yeah. Fictionalized. It's actually called Dotonbori in real life.
Yes.
And we get sort of that same glamour shots that we get of Kamurocho. Lots of party goers, neon lights. There's tons of these giant decorative signs all over Sotenbori.
Yeah,
they're cool.
The signature neon sign of a guy drinking beer.
Yeah, there's like a big crab or
the big
blowfish
crab,
or
the big blowfish.
A scary clown.
Scary drum playing boy.
Scary drum playing clown boy. But at the center of the city is one giant building. It's the Cabaret Grand.
Not literally at the center.
Not at the center, but it's like the heart of the city.
Yeah. No, I also said in my notes that it's at the center, but
yeah, it's not at the center. It's actually kind of on the edge.
Yeah, but I wanted to clarify, not literally at the center, in case anybody wants to be a pedant.
Yeah, we're gonna get lots of comments. Well, actually, it's actually on the it's actually on the northwest side.
The northwest side.
It's the very corner.
Sotenbori, on the west side of Sotenbori Street.
If you're actually being literal about it, the center of the city is just a water.
Yeah.
So
it's the river, or Sofukucho Street.
So we get like, you know, a classy jazz band. They're sort of playing their tunes. And this is a club of a hostess club, as they say, which I believe we'll be getting into more detail of what that is at the end of the episode. But just as a crash course, hostess club is a Japanese thing. This guy, you know, you basically go to a club and they have workers there named hostesses, and they kind of come to your table and they chat up with you. You order drinks and they kind of flirt with you. It's weird. I don't really get it as an American. And I'm pretty sure Japanese people also kind of think it's weird too. But we're in the 1980s and there's just a ton of them. And this is the biggest one in town.
Yeah, we see some shots. We see a guy just like chugging from the ice bucket.
The ice bucket. He's taking the ice bucket challenge in 1989.
Oh yeah. In that day they just drank champagne from it.
Yeah.
That's how they did
it. It was less noble back then.
Yeah, and they weren't doing it for any sort of awareness. They just did it.
Yeah,
it was more like the cinnamon challenge.
Yeah, there's a guy who's wearing like a crown of money.
Yeah, he's got his tie around his forehead like a karate belt, and he's got yen bills in it.
And he's like, "Ooh, I'll put them in your cleavage." So it's just, you know, party time.
And he throws a bunch of cash in the air, and the girls all go to get it.
Yeah, and then we get two besuited gentlemen. There's one dude in kind of a brown suit. We'll call him Chief. We never get these guys' names.
Yeah,
and then there's a guy in a black suit. I think he's a local. I think he's from Osaka. And then the brown suit guy is
Chief in the brown suit. He's from Tokyo, and then the other guy in the green suit. I think he is.
I think he's in a black suit, but I'm also colorblind, so I can't.
Yeah,
really
whatever.
tell.
He's in some other color suit. He's a local. He's from around here. He knows about the Cabaret Grand.
Yeah, so he's showing this businessman around. He says a trip to Sotenbori without a trip to the Grand is like takoyaki without the octopus. I'll also say, if you're playing these games or watching any Japanese media that's translated to English, if you ever notice a character kind of they put like apostrophes in their speech, like oh, that's what I'm saying, etc., etc. They're usually speaking in the Kansai dialect, which is the Kansai Ben, I think it's called, and that's just how they translate it. So
yeah, that's usually signified by a southern accent.
Yeah, they usually use a southern accent as a way to approximate it.
So pretend for all of these that I am speaking with my real voice, not my podcast voice.
Yeah,
then my real voice that nobody has ever heard. I'm lying. This is my real voice.
Yeah, your actual southern accent. So,
but they're all talking like this, and
we're Breaker. We're in Sotenbori. This is all the truckers of Kamurocho come to here. So the chief is kind of nervous about being in this club because he says that it's in the Omi Alliance's backyard. The Omi Alliance being the Kansai Yakuza. And they're a real scary bunch of dudes. So this guy's kind of creeped out. He says there's a lot of Yakuza looking dudes here, but the Osaka businessman reassures him that this is the most safe place in town, and that the Yakuza they behaved themselves here.
Yeah,
for a certain special reason.
Yeah, so they take their seat, and the waiter greets them. And the chief is still pretty nervous, but he's a little less nervous once his pretty ladies walk up, and they're like, "Hey." Yeah.
The Osaka
they've got
businessman.
Huge hungungalamungas.
Oh, they got some huge hungalagungas, and the Osaka businessman is just like, 4 bottles of champagne for the table. Don't worry, we're on my dime today. It doesn't matter. We're at the Grand, baby.
Well, at first they're just gonna get 1 bottle of champagne, but then the girls are like, "Well, this is a big shot from Tokyo. You should get more." So
you should get more champagne.
They get a bottle for everybody.
Oh, one of them is like, "Oh, you're gonna convince him that us Osakans are cheap." And he's like, "All right, we got to get 4 bottles, 1 for each." So then we get the chief. Some time has passed. We see more partying scenes. There's like the money crown man is doing more money crown things, and then the chief is like,
"Yeah, now he's chugging alcohol."
Yeah, he's chugging champagne from the floor, and he says, "The last time I was here in town, I hadn't even heard of this club. Apparently, there was a new manager, and the second the manager changed, boom, this was like the biggest club in town, and everyone knew about it. And the reason is because the new
the new manager, he poached all the best girls from the other clubs, and apparently he also did some less than savory things that you might not even talk about in hushed tones."
Yeah, he's sort of a, he's savvy, but he's got a dark side to him.
He's become a local legend for turning the Grand from nothing into just the hippest, swaggest place in town.
Just the greatest club. Unfortunately, the good times can't last because there's a commotion coming from downstairs in the club. There's a man, a sleazebag, a gross man,
getting
he's
handsy.
Groping. Yeah, getting handsy. He's groping one of the hostesses, and then the floor manager comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, no touching. This is our club has a no touching policy." And then the guy's like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And he pushes the waiter to the ground. And back up top, the chief is just like, "What the fuck? I told you this place was bad news." And then the businessman is like, "No, don't worry about it. It's something of all the places to start something in this town, you starting it in his club."
And he says he'll come handle it. Like capital he will come handle it.
The Lord Adonai, he will come and handle it. No. There's no God in the Grand. There's
before
only
you know it,
him.
Out walks a man with an eye patch and a ponytail.
Shiny,
some nice
shiny
metal shoes.
They're like, I think they're like snakeskin with like metal on the tip.
Yeah.
You know him. You love him. It's the one, the only Goro Majima.
It's Goro Majima, the manager of the Cabaret Grand.
That's his only title. That's the only thing we've ever called him. So the chief sees this strange-looking eye-patched man and is like, "Oh, is that the bouncer?" It is not. So
the customer sees him and is also like, "Are you the bouncer?
Are you gonna throw me out?" So Majima is like,
"You look like a Yakuza."
I may look like a Yakuza. However, appearances aren't everything. Here, take my business card. I'm so grateful for your patronage. However, I would ask you to refrain from touching and getting violent." And then
However,
oh my god, I love this part.
I won't throw you out, and I won't get physical, because after all, the customer is king.
So we need to talk about this real quick. In English, he says the customer is king. In Japanese, he says "Okyaku-sama wa kami-sama," which means the customer is God.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Even more so.
Yeah. He's even more gracious in Japanese, but the guy, the sleazebag dude is just like, "Oh, you're not gonna get violent with me? Well, check this out." And he like grabs this bottle of wine or something.
Champagne.
And champagne maybe, and he pours it on Majima's head. And Majima's just like, this is some real not always right bullshit where he's just like,
he's completely unfazed.
Yeah, he's not even
he's
blinking.
He's making the soy face the whole time.
He's smiling serenely. And he's just like, wow, I've always said I love this brand so much that I wish I could bathe in it, and you've made my dream come true. Thank you, sir. And the guy's like, oh, you piece of shit, fuck you, I'm gonna fuck you up. And he just starts punching
smug
him.
asshole.
Yeah.
He swings the bottle at him, and
he just starts dodging back and forth, and he's just like, please, sir, no violence. However, he says, if you insist on interrupting our business further... And then he, like, strikes a Majima pose, and he tells his band to give him one with a beat, because it's time to go fucking wild.
Let's go, boys. And he says, if you insist that I overstep my station, sir, then I, Majima, shall dance with you. I will not, however, raise a hand against you. After all, the customer is king.
The customer is god. Do you think that Majima makes his band learn this song because this happens so often? This is like, he when they hire a new trombone player at the Cabaret Grand, he's like, alright, this is the Majima fight music. If anyone ever steps out of line and I need to step in, you just play this song.
If I ever need to get epic, you play this song.
If I ever need to make everyone in the GameStop applaud, this is the song you're gonna play when I do it. So this is sort of...
It's showtime!
It's showtime! So, this is amazing. This is one of my favorite tutorials. It's not really a tutorial, because it's teaching us things we pretty much already know. But, we get the 3 rules of management, are the tutorial prompts. I unfortunately did not write them all down.
Oh shit, I didn't write them down.
Alright, but it's basically like, never lay a hand on your customer, offer additional generosity, etc., etc.
So, basically, during this section, all you can do is dodge around. You can't hit him no matter how much you mash the button. You won't.
The customer is king
after
all.
But you can also perform special customer service heat actions, where you offer him another drink and a hot towel and stuff.
Yeah, the like heat move where the guy dodges and then Majima just sneaks up behind him and he's like, "Would you like a hot towel, sir?" Oh, it's so funny. So you just keep dodging him, keep offering additional generosity, and then finally the tutorial ends. The guy like slams into a table and grabs an ice pick, and he's about to really give it to Majima. But Majima like judo flips him and disarms him and tells him, "Sir, for your own safety, I'll hold on to this." And then once again, everyone
claps.
Everyone claps. This is as a person who's worked in service for many years, this is our dream moment. Is this precise moment where everyone claps? So, do you want to say what happens next, because it's buck wild?
Yeah, this is a really really good moment. So like the waiters like start hoisting the guy up. They're like, "Come on, asshole, we're taking you to the cops." But Majima is like, "No, hold on a moment. Crowd, everyone, we should show this man.
Friends.
We need to show this man some compassion. You wouldn't want this man to lose his social standing that he's worked so hard to gain after just one night of mistakes. He worked so hard for it. Instead, I ask that you, sir, grant me just the small favor, if I could be so selfish as to ask that you cover the night's tab and buy everyone drinks for tonight. I'm sure you could cover it, being the head of Osama.
Osama's. You're the head of Al Qaeda.
As the head of Osaka Pharmaceutical HQ, and he like pulls out the guy's business card that he stole at some point.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Please, I'm asking such a small favor of you. If I'm being so selfish, but if you could please just grant me this one wish."
He's
and
also on the floor.
Gets down
He's on the
his
floor.
hands and knees. Yeah. And the guy's like, Yeah, if everyone would be all right with it, I'll buy drinks for everyone. And the crowd goes wild.
My favorite part is Majima, he turns to the crowd, but he's still on his knees. So
yeah,
he twists his... He, like, shuffles like some kind of gremlin man, and he's like, what do you say, everyone? Shall we honor this man's generous request? And then there's never been a GameStop applauding harder than this GameStop, I'll tell you that.
He'll buy everyone in the GameStop their own copy of Madden 2K20.
Yay! Loot boxes for everyone! And then Majima...
Everybody gets a Funko Pop.
Yeah, everyone gets a free Majima Funko Pop. And then Majima's like, don't clap for me. Clap for the generosity of this horrible man who was just filling up one of my hostesses. And then everyone claps for the pharma exec. And then he's just like, all right, thank you.
Damn, did we get teleported to America?
Yeah.
Wow,
Everyone clap for the pharma execs. Thank you for your service. And then he's just like bows to everyone and then walks away. And then we get back to the chief from Tokyo and he's just like, wow. So that's the damn, I get why this place is number one. And then the local is like, yeah, that's Goro Majima, Sotenbori's Lord of the Night. Yeah. I'll tell you what, we should all be living a life where we can make an entire room of people applaud and then have another local businessman say that we're the Lord of the Night. I just think it's funny how many cool nicknames Majima has. It's not fair. It's not fair to anyone that Majima's hogging all the good nicknames. And I can't wait to share the rest of them with you.
If you were just as cool as Majima, you would get some cool nicknames of your own.
Damn, your mom lets you have so many nicknames.
But you're not.
I'm not we'll never be as cool as Majima. So, back on the roof of the Grand, Majima's out. He's kind of having a smoke break. And then he sees this homeless man pushing a cart, just staring into his eyes from the ground. He's just looking up and staring at Majima.
I'm sure it's nothing.
It's nothing. Majima's like, interesting, gonna go inside now. So good news from the floor. The orders are pouring in like crazy, no injuries. They're making bank. Majima tells the floor manager to give him bonus to the hostess that got felt up, because that's horrible. And then the manager's like, already on it, don't worry. And then Majima says, tell the rest of them to keep an eye on Captain Grabass to make sure he doesn't run out on the bill. So, Majima, we'll say one thing, which is Majima, when he's working the floor, completely different man.
Yeah.
He's putting on a customer service persona like we all do.
Oh, yeah. So, he asks for an update from the floor manager, and the floor manager tells him that one of the new hostesses, Kanae-chan, isn't getting along with the other girls, specifically Sakurako-chan. So Majima goes to sort it out. He talks to one of the waiters to fetch him Kanae-chan, and the guy's just kind of staring at the pillar. Just like... Yeah,
he's like, he's having one of those days.
We'll check that out. Anyways, you talk to the girl, and she's like, I don't get along with any of these girls. They're all in a clique, and the hierarchy, blah, 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 blah. So you're like, well, if you, instead of, like, being so mean to them, you could be nice, and you could be rivals, so you push each other to do better. So you could, like, you're getting along, but you're still competing, and, that kind of...
Yeah, he sees that Kanae has a competitive side, so instead of trying to just tell her to get along, he tells her to be rivals with the other girls instead of just being, like, mean at each other. Mm-hmm. That way they all improve, because he says he needs girls that are popular with the guys and with the other girls. And I know you could be that girl, Kanae-chan. And she's like, you bet I can, because this is Majima once again. He's really got it under his control. He's totally knows how to run a nightclub.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, that waiter seemed kind of out of it. Let's go talk to him. So you go you go find him. He's staring at a different pillar.
They're calling him the Pillar Man.
They're calling him the Pillar Man. And you're like, hey, dude, what's wrong? And he says, oh, I just got a call from my sister. My dad's sick, and he needs 500,000 yen to cover his medical procedures. And I can't get an advance because I just asked for one because of some other thing. Majima's like, okay, I'll pay for it, and also take a few days off to go visit your dad. He's a nice man.
He's out here looking out for his employees. He just wants the whole place running smoothly, and he wants to keep morale high. That's Majima for you.
Yeah, he's like he thinks like, I just need this place to run smooth. I'll dump as much money into it as I need.
Yeah, exactly. Money is not an object. I just need everyone to be running this place as best as they can. So then a waiter comes up to Majima and tells him that because the whole house is on this dude's tab, there's this one asshole who started out ordering just the most expensive vintage wines and worked his way down the menu. And he's already run up a 4 million yen tab. And Majima's like, okay.
Right.
And he's like, I guess take me to him.
Band, get ready to play another song.
Yeah.
You walk up to the guy, like, and as soon as Majima, like, hears the guy's voice and sees his face, you see, like, visibly, he's like, oh, Jesus.
He's, like, dropped his demeanor entirely.
Majima's not very happy to see this guy, and he asks to talk to him in the back.
So this guy's name is Sagawa. He's well dressed. He's got sort of a goatee, beardy kind of thing going on. He looks like kind of a piece of shit, just from the look of him. And he knows Majima. And he says like, hold on. They sit down. And he says that basically coming out to inspect the club is part of his job, and getting to drink for free is a bonus. So basically, Sagawa owns the Cabaret Grand. He's Majima's boss, and he's here to check on our special boy. Majima.
And this whole scene, Majima is like waiting on him hand and foot. Like, he lights a cigarette, he dumps out the ashtray, he like pours him a drink,
gives him a towel, etc.
And he's obviously just fucking miserable the whole time he's doing
he hates it. Like, this is the I fucking hate my boss, but I have to be nice to him because he can have me killed or fire me.
He can have me sent to torture prison.
He can have me sent to Guantanamo whenever he wants. So he's like, I heard what happened. I can't. You really turned a pickle into a profit. That's my boy. Great job. He says, basically they chat about how the sales are through the roof, and that oh, Majima, you look good with the straight and narrow. You sure you don't want to do this? So we find out that this whole Majima expert Lord of the Night customer service thing, he fucking hates it. He's miserable. He hates his job. He hates his life. Even though he's like running this club and everyone loves him and his employees love him and the people love him, and he could be rolling in it at all times and living this hotshot nightlife sort of reality, he is miserable and he doesn't want to be here.
Yeah,
and Sagawa
he just asks Sagawa like, when can I get back into the Yakuza? And Sagawa's just like, you ask that all the time, dude. Come on, chill out.
Chill out. You got this great life here. Are you sure you even want to be a Yakuza?
And then we finally get Sagawa's like introductory like name card. He is Tsukatsu Sagawa, retainer to the 5th chairman of the Omi Alliance and patriarch of the Sagawa family.
Yes.
He is also Futoshi Shimano's sworn brother. So
yeah, he's his Kyodai.
Yeah, so Majima's old patriarch, before he got kicked out of the Yakuza, he has sworn brothers with him.
Yes, so that's why he's sort of keeping an eye on Majima, because Majima did something, and he's being punished for it, and his punishment is that he has to manage the Grand and live in Sotenbori, and he if he can raise 100 million yen for the Omi Alliance, basically Sagawa will have a chat with Shimano, his sworn brother, and so Majima tells Sagawa that he'll have his 100 million yen by the end of the month, and then he'll get back in the family. And then Sagawa, the piece of shit, is like, did I say 100 million? I don't know.
How about another 500
Make it 500 million. And then Majima's so fucking pissed off. He goes to punch Sagawa in the face.
Rat
bastard. Yeah, and he goes to punch him, but he stops his fist right before he hits his face. And Sagawa's like, you can't fucking hit me. You can't. They're calling me Mr. Try and Hit Me out here. Because you want to go back. If you punch me now, you'll go back to the hole and you won't ever see daylight again. But don't worry, Majima. The Yakuza would never let a cash cow like you go free. And then Majima says, like, fuck it. 500 million, 1 billion. I'll do whatever it takes to get back in the game. And then Sagawa, what does Sagawa tell Majima?
He's like, would you do a hit?
Would you punch someone? Oh wait, no, not that kind of hit. Would you kill someone?
The McElroy brothers say, don't do a hit.
Yeah. Would you hit Travis? And then Majima's like speechless, and then Sagawa says, haha, just for laughs, just kidding, don't worry about it. Just messing with you, kiddo.
Unless eyes emoji.
Yeah. I don't know, Chief, this ain't it. But maybe. So, before he leaves, he takes his briefcase, he gets up, and he's like, by the way, one thing. There's another, that hostess, Noriko, your number one gal.
Number one!
There's another club, they need a shot in the arm, so I'm gonna send your best girl over. Anyway, have fun making $500 million, bye!
Bye!
So Sagawa leaves and Majima goes apeshit. He kicks the trash can over. He's fucking furious. The floor manager runs in. He's like, Majima, Noriko-chan, she's leaving. And then Majima's like, yep, owner's call. Can't do anything about it.
Anyways, who's the best girl in town that we don't have yet?
Yeah, it's Nozomi from Odyssey.
The Grand's biggest rival.
Yeah, the Grand's biggest rival. It's time to go out poaching. And then Majima says, he's like, he looks in the camera and trailer music starts playing, and he's like, the nightlife, it's a jungle out there, and the strong, where they eat the weak, and if one stumble, the Cabaret Grand goes down, coming soon to a theater near you.
So he's gonna go.
Yeah, he says all that, and then he leaves, and everyone applauds. And then he walks out, and a normal man is there. Just a normal
guy wearing some really bright white boots and red gloves named Somataro Komeki.
He's a normal...
He is...
You know, just imagine the baseline human being is what Somataro Komeki looks like.
He is, quote-unquote, the heir to a certain form of martial arts. We won't name what it is.
Don't worry about it. However... he's lost his edge, so he needed to leave Tokyo to go on a sort of Japan-wide training adventure. But for some reason,
he heard rumors that the proprietor of a local ale house in Osaka was quite the he does refer to the Grand.
Yeah, I know. He's got a very old-fashioned way of speaking.
Yeah, he heard there's quite the interesting man running it, so he's come to meet him.
And Majima's like, I'm not gonna. You're not. He's
oh, do
like,
you mean Sagawa-han? He's inside.
Yeah,
he just left actually.
Yeah. So Majima starts kind of doing his like shtick. He starts kind of schmoozing up the guy, and then he's like, "Oh, I don't drink. I'm not a gluttonous man. I'm not going into that horrible place. I just was looking for the manager." And then Majima's like, "Oh, if you're not paying, you know, I love my customers, but I'm not gonna fucking waste my time on a guy who's not gonna give me money." And then Komeki's like, "Look, I see a demon inside you trying to get out, Majima. Aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go ape shit?"
Yes.
And when Majima hears that, he's like,
"Yes,
you know, maybe I do want to go ape shit a little, especially
Please."
After that conversation with Sagawa-han." So he says, "Not here, not in front of the club. We'll go have our tutorial somewhere else."
They go to one of the footpaths by the river.
Yeah, and it's time to learn about Majima's first style. Thug style.
Thug style.
So let's talk about thug style.
Yeah, there isn't really... we don't really learn that much here. Thug style... We'll talk about... Let's actually talk about it more than the game does.
Yeah, sure.
Actually. So Thug style is Majima's base fighting style. It's kind of like Kiryu's Brawler. It's a very balanced, very it's good all round. I'd say it's better than Brawler, to be honest. Like,
I think it's got better dodges too.
It definitely has better dodges because it can dodge twice.
Yeah,
but it's like very precise and has like a lot of like instead of just like straight up Brawler with like fist stuff, it'll just do fisting. He also knows how to use his feet.
Damn, he's the Lord of the Night and he's got feet?
Yeah, he's got like a lot of sweet kicks, and he can do like cool moves and stuff.
The first thing that Kameki teaches
he can
you...
also he can also his rush combo loops, and once you get more upgrades, you can loop it more times. So you can just whack a man like 20 times before doing a finishing move. It rules.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and also in this tutorial, you learn that one of your finishing moves is an eye poke that will like kind of temporarily stun a guy and make him turn around.
Yeah, and if you turn around and you have your heat gauge build up, you can use Essence of Choking, which it says it's Essence of Choking. It's more like Essence of Break a Guy's Neck.
Yeah.
Goro Majima has never killed anyone at this moment. However, he will snap a neck, but it's fine. They'll get better. It's just a neck injury. They're good.
Yeah, you snap a neck, you hear the crunch,
a horrible
of
popping
their
sound.
Yeah, and then you see the spittle fly out of their mouth every time.
But they're fine. They get up.
Fine. They're fine. They're fine.
Yeah,
they get up and
just,
they say,
Owie.
I'm sorry. Thank you for cracking my neck, sir. Here's a refreshing energy drink.
Yeah, he says, my back hurt really bad. Here, take the stamina and I'll go away. So that's, I mean...
Thug Style, of all weapons, has a special umbrella heat action.
Does it?
Yeah, you've never done... You know the normal umbrella heat action?
Vaguely.
Where you just, like, use the hook to reel someone in and then kick them away.
Oh, yeah. What does he use in Thug Style?
Majima, like, stabs them with the umbrella, like the front end of it, opens the umbrella, and then takes one of the rods out and stabs him in the shoulder with it.
Whew!
And then he strikes a pose where you can see the blood on the umbrella.
I'll have to look at that. I'll have to try that. Jesus, Majima.
Yeah, there's an umbrella on, like, I think both of the bridges have an umbrella. So
that's probably a reference to his first scene from Yakuza.
Oh yeah, does he have an umbrella in that one? I was
he almost stabs a guy in the face with the umbrella, remember?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's probably what that's a reference to.
Yeah, possibly.
So after the tutorial, Kameki is like, damn, you really did just go all out. You're definitely going to surpass me one day. However, we're going to have sort of a mutual relationship where I'll spar with you and regain the strength that I once had, and you're going to gain strength that you've never known. So I'll be out. I'm about to head out, but I'll see you later.
I'm about to head to the M store. You need anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me some mandarin oranges, dude.
I want to shove that in a person's mouth. Get me a pork cutlet bowl while you're there. So he goes to M store, and we're gonna go to Odyssey. You can kind of chat up some people and learn some information about Odyssey before you go there.
I didn't bother with that.
Yeah, there's no real reason to do it, but you learn like the kind of clientele, the girls there, whatever. So we crossed the town, crossed the bridge, and we're at Odyssey. Majima needs to put on a disguise so no one will notice the. He's a very normal looking man. He's got an eye patch. He's got a ponytail. He's wearing a very shiny pair of shoes. So as long as you slap a pair of sunglasses over it, no one will notice.
He still has the shoes on and the suit
and the ponytail.
But he takes off the eye patch and puts on some sunglasses.
And also, when a dude wears sunglasses inside at night, that doesn't dry. That's normal, so it's fine.
And you can see his fucked up eye through.
You can see his fucked up eye, which is like the only time you can ever see his fucked up eye. So good on him for showing it to us in this game. So he goes into the club, and the waiter's like, "Sorry, sir, we're full. You'll have to wait to have a seat. I'll pour you a drink if you'd like." And then Majima's like, "Oh, no rush. Just do your thing. I'll wait over here." And time passes. Looks like a lot of time passes, and they finally seat him down. And then we basically get a little investigation time where we can kind of scope things out from our seat.
Yeah, let's kind of go over the things that you see.
Yeah,
this is he's gathering intel on Odyssey, so he sees that the girls are wearing almost all of them are wearing really outdated clothing, which that's not really gonna appeal to younger guys.
They're not wearing shutter shades. They're not wearing shirts that say dubstep on them.
Yeah,
that's what the kids are wearing these days, right?
Yeah, they're not wearing a flat brim hat that says "fam" on it.
Yeah.
They're all wearing pantsuits or whatever.
Yeah. He says that'll make the old boys club feel right at home.
Yeah, he sees a couple of empty tables, which is kind of suspicious, given that the waiter told him that they were full. He sees... do you want to say the next thing he sees, panning from right to left?
Well, he sees a sort of a dancing man in a diaper.
Kind of a normal man.
Just kind of a normal dancing bald man wearing like I don't want to say a cum diaper, but that's really the only word that I can use to describe it as.
He's also wearing chucks.
He's wearing chucks because you never know when a game of one-on-one's going to break out, when you're at the club in your diaper, just dancing, just thrusting, just having just gyrating with the best of them by the staircase just alone.
Emanating.
Majima's
sexual.
Majima says, tension. What the shit is that? Dude is like a lust machine. So there's the dancing diaper man, and then that's fine. That's whatever. Don't worry about it. And then also there's some people from the entertainment industry. Papillon Kato is not here. It would be funny if he was here.
Yeah.
But it's just Majima's like, oh, 3 guys. You can see it's the director, the lead actor, and some piss boy intern. And there's 3 of them and 2 girls, and he's like, huh.
I'm an unpaid piss pig.
My resume says piss boy, and I do work for Papillon Kato, so, we're part of his entertainment business family, so we don't get paid, but he does pay us we have to take him to the hostess club.
Kiryu-san, after all these years in the industry, I really believe in the power of piss to change people's lives and inspire them.
Can you, Kiryu, producer Kiryu-san, can you fetch me the piss bowl?
Now, which one of these things? What is a piss bowl?
There's a bowl full of piss. There's an umbrella, and there's a second bowl full of piss. So, the hostess shows up. Her name is Takako-chan, and we gotta get some info out of her. You can truth, doubt, and lie her. But you basically just kind of ask her everything, and she'll tell you what you need.
Mm-hmm. You learn that Nozomi is she's a consummate professional, and she really keeps up with the news
Nozomi, the number one girl.
Yeah, they get a lot of big time politicians and businessmen in here, so bankers. The girls are all motivated to read the news and keep up.
Yeah, the bosses tell them that they need to read the papes and stay on top of business, and Nozomi takes it very seriously. So
to the point where she doesn't know how to converse with the younger clientele.
Yeah, the kids, they roll in on their hoverboards.
And they're talking about vaping and Fortnite, and she's like,
they're like, Nozomi's like, do you jewel? They're like, Nozomi, do you jewel? And she's like, I love to collect jewels. I know
what's going on with the NASDAQ right now. And
yeah. Hey, Nozomi, what's your Fortnite account? And then she says, oh, is something happening in 2 weeks? Haha. And that just never works out. So she's an old man's kind of lady.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple other things that you can talk to.
And that the Odyssey is kind of they're desperate to beat the Grand, to the point where if they don't outcompete the Grand at the end of this month, all of the employees will have to pay a fee, which seems fucking wild.
Yeah, seems wild. Can't imagine your boss making you pay a fine. That fucking sucks. But also, I mean, they say that they have their regulars, and they're not dropping hundreds of thousands as is, but they're having trouble drawing in new customers, and especially younger customers, and sometimes the girls need to go out on dates with the guys and bring in new guys, so it's not going so great for the Odyssey. I mean, they have their business steady, but they're not going to be able to outcompete the Grand. There's also a lot of girls that only work 1 shift a week. Mm-hmm. There's just a ton of them. And the reason being because the hierarchy is so terrifying that the girls just constantly are up and quitting and going to different clubs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, a rundown on what the state of this particular establishment is. Majima is interrupted by Yamagata, who's the manager of Odyssey. And he's just like, oh, hey, Majima.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, you're the most distinctive looking man in this game.
It's pretty cool seeing the Lord of the Night visit my own club.
Nice. He also calls out the fact that you're wearing sunglasses inside at night. He's like, that's a bold look, Majima. So he basically tells Takako to leave so he can sort of have a little chat time. He already is like, you're here to poach Nozomi, aren't you? And Majima's like, yeah, pretty much. Not gonna lie, just trying to take your girl. Yamagata says, is this how you run things at the Grand? Just sneaking around and spying on people? And he says, look, I'll call Nozomi over and you can talk to her. And then Majima says, oh, I wouldn't really go far without having you on board. I'm more here to sweet talk you than sweet talk her.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically explains, what he's learned. He says, you're doing good business, but all your clients are old dudes, and you can't really expand to the younger, fresher audience. So you need some new girls. And by the way, I have proof to back it up because you made me wait, even though I saw a bunch of open tables. So it's not like you're full up. You don't have enough girls to cover the whole house. I mean, the piss boy, he doesn't even have his own girl. He has to share. So Majima's like, you're a smart guy. You see where I'm going.
How could you make the piss boy share?
How could you make the piss boy has such a hard job? Can you just give the piss boy his own hostess at least? So Majima says he's got a couple things to sweeten the deal. He's got plenty of girls that could fill Nozomi's number one spot. He'll give him 10 million yen in cash on the spot to warm him up. He's also training a bunch of girls aimed square at the younger audience, the younger demographics. And also, they're using lots of baseball analogies right here. He's like, you got a lot of home run hitters, but you really need a lead up batter. You need a relief pitcher.
You need someone who can bunt.
You need some. Oh yeah, he says that. He says you need some girls who can bunt, because you got a lot of home run hitters here, but you don't got the bunters. So he has a bunch of girls that they have their Fortnite accounts. So he's gonna basically give them to Yamagata, in exchange for Nozomi to fill the number one spot at the Grand. And Yamagata's like, you would really hand over a bunch of girls like that to me? Where you've been training? And Majima's like, yeah, I sure would. I just need that number one, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's like, look, I get a lot of money right now. You get a lot of money down the line.
Works
out for both of us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, and then he's just like, all right, I'll take your deal, Majima. But no more stunts like this.
Yeah, no more skulking around my place. And we're not working together. We are rivals.
Also, could you please take the cum diaper man out of here? Could you just remove him?
Yeah, on your way out, could you just kind of bring him with you?
The piss boy can stay, but take Mr. Diaper out.
The piss boy is a paying customer, but
yeah,
cum diaper man.
This guy just comes in here and thrusts all night, and
maybe
that's motive. Majima's
I don't know I don't know how he even gets in, past the bouncer.
Majima's like, I know what your problem is. I see a lot of empty tables, and a lot of people are intimidated when they walk into the club and they see the Mr. Diaper just sort of gyrating in the back, and then they say, I'll go to the Grand instead. I think if you kicked out the diaper man, you would probably have better business. So, yeah, that's good. We got
that's
Nozomi.
Why they call him the Lord of the Night.
They really call him the Lord of the Night. So, we've got Nozomi. We didn't even meet her, but we got her. And he's gonna basically, Majima's done for the day. He's gonna get some food, and then he's gonna pass the fuck out because he's tired.
Yeah.
So, we go back to Sotenbori Street where the Grand is, and on this way, we hear a pissed off man, and he's like, what the fuck is this? What kind of, he says, what kind of ass clown goes on a raid with a big honking sword like this, you moron? So, there's an arms deal going down in Sotenbori Street. You sort of peek around the back, and there's just a dude holding a giant Chinese broadsword. And the guy's like, I just wanted a gun, you asshole.
And the dealer's like, well, that is, I crafted that weapon myself. That is fine Chinese steel you're holding right there. And if you're not worthy of it, then if you want to prove worthy of my weapons, you need to pass my test. And he's like, all right, then I'll run you through with this sword you gave me here. And the dealer's just like, I will use this simple piece of lumber right here.
I will use this lumber
to beat your ass.
Smiling serenely, little lumber versus big sword.
Yeah, and then he does. He beats the man's ass with a piece of lumber.
Kicks his ass with it. And then Majima, Kiryu, when he sees, when he has a revelation about a new combat style, he says, that's rad.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Majima says, holy shit. Metal Gear. So the guy gets his ass beat, and the thug is like, "Damn, dude, that's a primo stick you got there. Give me that thing. Oh, how did you make that thing?" And then the guy's just like,
I just picked it up off the ground.
I picked it up off the ground, but that sword was a masterwork forged by hand. Sir, I must ask you to leave this establishment and never come back. And then everyone in the GameStop applauded.
Yay.
So Majima like starts to leave, but it's Kameki. He's here. He was like, good to see you again, young disciple. I was searching for a place to spar, but it seems I've come across a person that I was looking for. This man here is named Fei Hu. His father, when he walked the earth, was a great weapons manufacturer that I used to know, and I was here to check in on his son. And also, Fei Hu already knew that Majima was standing there the whole time. He's also just looking at Majima, just staring at him, and he's like...
I sense danger in this man.
Yeah, I sense danger in this man. Kameki's like, hey, boy! Wrong guy, sorry. He's like, why don't you put Majima to the test? And then Majima's like, excuse me, I've had a long day. I would just like to go home. I don't want to have a fight. I don't want to have another tutorial again.
And Komeki says, it looks like you just had a revelation. Why don't you try out your new fighting style on this man? And Majima's like, all right, fine.
It actually took me until like 3 days ago for me to realize that this game came after Yakuza 4 and 5, which had the 4 and 5, which had the revelations in it, which is a system that we'll talk about when we get to those games, and that this is just an extension of that. Mm-hmm. Never knew about it until now. So yeah, Majima has had a revelation, and it's time to practice what we've just learned.
So he chooses his weapon, and he chooses like a beat up old shitty.
So Fei Hu is like, he's like, I'll give you whatever weapon you wish, and Majima's like, I'll just take that baseball bat over there. And he's like, really? Interesting. And this is Majima's second style,
Slugger.
So let's talk about Slugger, because this is a good one.
This is a good one. Go ahead.
So Majima has a baseball bat. That's pretty much all you need to know. The baseball bat is extremely strong. It's not very fast, but it does a lot of damage, and it's able to block weapons because it's a weapon itself. So you can block melee weapons. I don't think you can block bullets with the bat, but
you can eventually.
There's a couple interesting...
You can actually, if you advance it enough, you can actually whack bullets back at it.
Holy shit.
I've never actually managed to pull it off, but...
Majima voice, holy shit. So, that's literally like Majima's a witcher, and he can fucking deflect bolts back at people.
Yeah, I mean, the upgrade describes it as, like, pull off a genuine miracle and hit a bullet back at a man with your baseball bat.
I mean, hey, if anyone could do it, it's Goro Majima. So, the thing about the baseball bat is that it has, there's one move in particular that I really want to talk about, which is, the 3 rush combo, so press 3 square 3 times.
The bat nunchaku.
The bat nunchaku, which is basically, if you press, the right amount of times, then press your finisher, Majima will use his baseball bat like nunchucks, and as long as you keep pressing, triangle, he'll basically do it for, I don't think it goes forever, but it feels like it goes forever.
You can get upgrades to extend it as well.
Yeah, he just swinging it. It just does so much damage. It does a little amount of damage, but it does it for so long that it's just like, ooh.
Yeah, and it's also like it will lock up any of the AI. Like
they'll stop.
Even like boss level enemies, they don't know what to do against it because it's just such a constant.
I mean, if someone did it to you, you wouldn't know what to do about it either.
Yeah, so like even if they're blocking it, like. You'll get a few attacks that'll break through, and it'll whittle them down.
And we're talking, by the way, with these heat moves with the bat, we're talking fucking Major League Baseball, or I guess
Super
Nihon
Fighting
Pro
Baseball.
Slam crack to the skull, just like braining, like no one's gonna survive this. Majima is not killing these people, but he is destroying their brains and skulls with his baseball.
It doesn't have very many heat actions, actually. It basically just has the bat heat action and then a couple of ones you can unlock.
They kind of pulled their knees, and Majima just
but that's kind of in exchange for it just hitting like a truck all the time.
It's just so good.
It's just also one other thing. The bat does ding off of walls, like during finishing moves, especially. So like that can be like in confined spaces. It's pretty. It can be pretty bad to use.
Yeah, but it just feels so good to hit people with the bat. Like it's fun. It's fun to use melee weapons in this game, but they always break. But Majima has one that never breaks, and that's what's great about it.
Yeah, he found the shittiest melee weapon, and that's the one that doesn't break. That's the secret.
Yeah. If Kiryu had gone to Sotenbori and walked into that alley and found the bat on the ground, he would be like, perfect, infinite bat.
It's just this one baseball bat. It's just a legendary bat that nobody, like somebody discarded it.
The mad bat of Shimano. So everyone is surprised by Majima's excellent bat skills. Feihu says that he's passed, and basically Majima's the kind of clientele that his business, the Dragon and Tiger, exists to serve. So come inside and I'll give you an explanation of the Dragon and Tiger.
I skipped over this.
Yeah, me too. This is a part of the game that, I mean, I'm gonna do it so we can have content, but like it's really kind of a boring part of the game. It's almost like a little mini, like just kind of waiting game. You send people out. Basically, Feihu is part of a worldwide network of arms dealers. They exist all over the world. They go to archaeological sites and take weapons and use them as inspiration for their own weapons. And you can kind of send different guys out and unlock new dudes, and they'll sort of get you new weapon unlocks, and you can upgrade weapons. I never really worried about it because Majima has it.
Yeah, you can spend money to send guys out, and they will, depending on the amount of money you get, will increase their chances of success to bring back weapons or crafting materials, and like there are rarer ones that you can get sometimes.
Now Majima has an unbreakable baseball bat, so I basically never touched this, but we'll see about it because
I kind of did it. I don't think I ever really did. Yeah, I don't think I ever really got to like the story of the Dragon and Tiger, but I did like a fair amount of it to the point where I have like Kiryu and Majima's inventories like filled up with pretty good weapons.
Cool. So Majima says, well, what I'm really interested right now is some a dinner, so just give me the house special. Feihu also runs it with his wife, Longhua, so she makes him some food. And after he eats, he goes outside, and Kameki tells him basically, I need a favor. I need you to keep their business quiet and just keep vigil over them. Their shop may draw the ire of a terrible foe. Now, I'm off. I'm about to head out. I'm going to the wilderness.
I seriously don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I know that.
I know. I'm like, did I just never do this? Because I never found anything like that. So that's basically it for story time. And I think
I'm about to head out. I made this new friend. He's a very large man. He owns an island, so we're gonna go.
He owns an island. I'm gonna go to his
fight
island.
Like orca whales and sharks together.
He understands the true meaning of what it means to have a lot of money. He spends it the right way, which is he eats it. So now I feel like it's a good time because we basically have free reign of the city.
This is when sub stories open up.
Yeah, so let's talk about a couple sub stories. I did.
And
one.
There's a fucking ton of them too.
There's so many of them.
I had to weave up and down the street to avoid all the ones that I wasn't gonna do.
Exactly, you're just batting them off with a stick, with a bat, if you will. We actually, I don't know about you, but I put on the item that lets you see the sub stories on the map.
No, yeah, so I did that too.
Yeah, when you play the game your first time through, you basically just run into these at random, which is actually a little more fun when you're playing it for your first time because you don't know where things are. Mm-hmm. So would you like to start or would you like me to start?
I went first last week, so you can go.
Sure. All right, so Majima's walking down Sotenbori Street, and he runs across a flustered young woman, and she has a request for him. She's like, I need you to do something. I need you to be my boyfriend. Ah! Majima's like, what the fuck? You want to be a couple? You want to go on dates? And he's like, wait, okay, let's back it up. I think he's like, I need to give this woman a strong answer. So I told her that I think we should just be friends. And then she says, no, I don't need a friend. I need a boyfriend. It's that extra syllable that I need. It's important. Majima's like, okay, look, I need this to be more natural. You can't just walk up to a person and tell them that. And she says, oh, wait.
I need big naturals.
Okay.
That's what he says.
She says, I think I left out some details. I need you to pretend to be my boyfriend. He's like, okay, well that makes a lot more sense. I don't know why she needed to, go at that angle the way she did. So here's the deal. This woman, her father is visiting, and he wants to meet her boyfriend that she says she has. He's been hounding her for years with arranged suitors, so she just made up a boyfriend. She said he was a tall man with an eye patch and a ponytail, and he had a dangerous look like at the edge of a knife. He ran a nightclub called the Cabaret Grand, and he has if you look on his back, he's got a tattoo of a demon on it. So she says that he's here to meet her boyfriend that doesn't exist. However, she just met a man who looks exactly like her imaginary boyfriend, Majima, so she needed him to pretend to be her boyfriend. She says her name is Kokoa, but to call her Koko-chan. And he says he's Majima, and she says, I'll call you Goro-chan. Majima's like, oh my god, things are moving so fast between us. So she says, alright, we're gonna go to the restaurant and meet my dad right now. And Majima's like, alright, so I have nothing to say to your dad, right? Just a handshake and an introduction. And she says, no, that won't convince my dad. My dad needs to know what kind of boyfriend you are. So I have a backstory for you. Your name is Goro Majima. We've been going out for 6 months. You're a dentist. You like long drives and movies, and your favorite food is the omurice that I make. And he's like, okay, all right. And she says, got it memorized? And so I do. I wrote it down, so. Majima wrote it down on a napkin. So, Koko-chan's dad is now here. He's a very buttoned-up, straight-laced kind of guy. Majima's like, wow, this is a very important milestone for meeting a girl's dad. This could impact the rest of her life. I better prepare for this role properly. So fortunately, his time at the Cabaret Grand has honed his acting skills. So you can kind of choose how you introduce yourself to the father. You can say, pleased to meet you, sir. I'm Goro Majima. You can say, I'm delighted to meet you, father. And you can say, please make my miso soup every morning. Which I believe is an old-fashioned proposal line in Japan. That's like an old way of telling a girl that you want to marry her, is to say that you want her to make your miso soup in the morning. So I did the normal introduction, and the old man is like, wow, the youth of today, they really don't know the importance of a good introduction and a firm handshake. There's something about you that I like. You're a large adult man. And Koko-chan is like, he's not like other guys. And the guy's like, wow, I honestly, when you told me that your boyfriend was a slender waist, ponytailed, eye-patched man with a dangerous aura, unlike a dagger's edge, I actually didn't expect that this man actually existed. I thought you just had an overactive imagination. So he's like, what kind of job do you have? You can tell him you're a yakuza. You can tell him you run a nightclub. But I told him, of course, that I am a dentist. He says that he can't believe that a dentist looks like this, and he's like, there's more to me than meets the eye.
Is it hard being a dentist with an eye patch?
I mean, from my experience going to the dentist, you basically go and then the dentist looks at your teeth and says, okay, good to go, goodbye. So, I mean, maybe you can do it with an eye patch. No disrespect to dentists who maybe do more jobs than that, I'm not sure. So he asks how you met Kokoa.
I lost my eye in a tragic dentistry accident.
I lost my eye. You know that water jet that sprays your teeth at the dentist? Turned around and hit me right in the eye. So I told Kokoa's father that we sat next to each other at a movie, and it was a tearjerker. And I offered her my handkerchief, and that's how we met. And yeah, I blow my nose into that thing, and she wiped her eyeballs with it, and that's how I also lost my eye. So, that's how Kokoa lost her eye. So then he's like, I gotta ask you, what do you find attractive about my daughter? Because I'm worried that she's too innocent and childlike. I'm not sure if she's gonna grow up to live a prosperous family life. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude. I did the wrong answer here. I don't know what the right answer is, but I said that I liked her omurice. He's like, that's kind of shallow, Majima. So Kokoa goes to the bathroom and leaves me alone, Majima alone with this girl's father, which is horrific. As a person with social anxiety, the idea of having this happen to me is just like, oh god. How
about the Mets?
Yeah. Do you like those Hanshin Tigers? So as she leaves, Kokoa's father says, I know you're playing along with Kokoa's lie. You can stop pretending. He says,
can take off that eye patch.
You can take off that eye patch. You can take off that ponytail. I know you're just an actor. He says it's his fault that she pulled this stunt. He shouldn't have pushed her into all those dates. and he was too overprotective, but he sees that she's capable of standing on her own 2 feet, and he won't send her any more suitors. And he says there's another reason that he went along with this charade, even though he knew it was a lie the whole time, which is one day Kokoa is gonna bring home a real boyfriend, and this is good practice. Maji was kind of pissed off because he says like it feels really gross lying to someone who knew the entire time that it was all fake. And he says, but by the way, I think there's more to Kokoa's stunt than just worrying about an arranged marriage. I think that she wanted to show you not to worry so much and that she can manage her own life. So Kokoa's back. Majima basically tries to tell her that her dad knew, but her dad interrupts and he's like, well, you have nothing to worry about. It seems like your boyfriend's a great guy, and I'll stop trying to set you up now. Let's go back to the hotel. And so they go to the hotel. She says she'll walk him back. Bye, Craig.
Bye.
Tachibana strikes again. He just can't stay. So, hold on. I'm just going to pop Craig back in. Basically, Kokoa's father is like, before I go, I have one more request. You're such a great guy. Will you be my daughter's real boyfriend? And then Majima's like, no. Yeah, oh yeah, he says, will you be my boyfriend? And it's like, oh, whoa. And then Majima's like, this is why I'm single. So, so will you share with me what happened to you on the streets of Sotenbori?
Yes. So I did sub-story number 51, Rise of the Dragon.
Oh god! This one already?
Yes.
Oh boy. Alright,
I've never actually done this one before.
Amazing. This one is so good. I
knew about it, but I'd never actually done it.
This will be a really interesting one to talk about, and let's just be very careful with the words that we use.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, walking down East Shofukujo Street, which is why I never did this, because that's an area that has nothing on it. It's a dead-end street. There's nothing there. That's why I never did the sub-story. Majima is suddenly called out to by a man hiding behind a pillar. Another pillar man.
A lot of pillar mans in the city.
Yeah. There has to be a third one somewhere.
Yeah.
So, the man, you meet the man, you talk to him, and it turns out he's not wearing any pants.
Uh-oh.
He asks to borrow Majima's because his bontans were stolen. His bontans. Bontans?
Bontans? I think that's like the Japanese school uniform pants.
So basically bontans are like, if you see like an anime with like, or you just see like one of those Japanese delinquents with the big puffy pants, it's those pants.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Majima, of course, refuses to hand over his pants because he doesn't want to go out and about just swanging dick like all over the place.
He's swanging.
Yeah. The guy's like, well, fuck it then, I'm gonna fight you for the right to wear those pants. So after snapping the man's neck, the kid explains he explains to Majima like what the deal is with his missing pants. His name is Toru. He's from Soten North High, and he got mugged by the Bonton Hunter.
Uh-oh. The
Bonton Hunter. He's someone who beats up delinquents and takes their pants as a trophy. He's just this big, huge, stacked guy. But the weird thing is, he wears like a tiny student backpack.
He's just in a little backpack.
Yeah. Toru asks Majima to please get my pants back. And that the hunter, he hangs out around Magutako, the takoyaki place up north. So you go up there, and you are, of course, approached by a large man with slicked back blonde hair and a student backpack, asking to take your pants.
It would have been funny if Majima had to wear a pair of bontans for this very reason. He's like, I need some bait.
I mean, the guy does say, "Give me your bontans," and Majima's like, These are
very expensive. This
is a tuxedo, dude. Like, what are you talking about? And the guy says, "All right then. Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to beat the shit out of you and then take them. Peeling's better than stealing, after all." So this guy is pretty tough.
You don't want to fuck with the Bontan
He's got
hunter.
a humongous health bar. He's got like a full boss health bar and a half. And he hits pretty hard. But you beat him up. And then after you beat him up, some little kids walk up and they're like, "Oh no, Ryuji-kun! Ryuji-kun's been beaten! Oh no, please, you have to let Ryuji-kun go. He was just doing this for us." And then it cuts, and like Ryuji's the Ryuji-kun is asleep on the bench, and the kids are explaining to Majima. Ryuji is another elementary school kid. He's like 12 years old.
Majima just beat up a 12-year-old boy.
He's very large.
He just slammed a baseball bat into a kid's skull, but it's okay because the kid looked like an adult.
He did look like an adult. And Ryuji, he beats up older delinquent kids because they're always bullying the younger ones and taking their money and threatening them
nice guy.
to not tell adults.
Nice kid.
And he actually did this despite all the other kids shunning him.
Yeah, he's just looking out for the weaker.
They used to all play with him like when they were younger, but like then it was found out that Ryuji's dad is a Yakuza, and not just any Yakuza. He's like a big shot in the Omi Alliance.
Oh,
so like all of their parents were like, "You can't play with Ryuji-kun."
That's sad.
Yeah.
He's. I thought you were gonna say that Ryuji hit his growth spurt and began to look like an adult man, and then no one wanted the adult man to play with their children. No, that's muscle puberty. That's just it happens when you're a Bontan boy.
Yeah, well, Ryuji wakes up and he's like, I didn't do it. He's tsundere. He's like, I didn't do it to protect you guys. I just did it because those guys are assholes and I don't like them. They're a bunch of pussies.
Man, Ryuji really is kind of a Jotaro kind of guy.
And he's like, all right, this Majima guy, you're pretty tough, I guess, but I'm gonna get even stronger, and next time I see you, I swear I'm gonna take those pants right off your ass. And then the kids give you back the Bontans from Toru, and Majima brings them back, and Toru's like, alright, thanks, dude. I'm gonna go gather up some of my friends. We're gonna go jump this Ryuji kid.
Oh my god! Leave him alone! He's just a boy!
Majima's pretty worried. He's like, well, Ryuji's pretty big and strong. He's a pretty big and strong 12-year-old, but like even a bunch of these, knuckleheads might be able to, beat him up.
Yeah.
So you go back up to make sure he's okay, and by the time you get there, Ryuji's already knocked out all of these big boys, these teenagers.
Just a strong lad.
Yeah, he's
just a sturdy kid
standing on the bench and T-posing to assert his dominance. And he starts heading off because he has math drills for homework. He has to go home. And as he's walking off, the Toru, the Bontan guy, is like, "What's your name?" And he says, "Ryuji Goda." And Majima says, "Wow, Ryuji Goda, that's a real dragon in the making." And that's the end of the sub-story.
A lot of people are talking about Ryuji Goda, but I wish everyone would Ryuji go to the polls. So that's a night's worth of adventures. We're gonna go back to Majima's shitty little tiny apartment. He has all the money in the world from his club, but he is going to live in a tiny place so he can save up more, so he can be back in the Yakuza. But it's time for one little last scuffle before we turn it in.
Yeah, some goons from Odyssey show up.
Hey, you poached a number one!
You took Nozomi-chan! We don't agree with the manager's policies, so we're gonna beat you up.
He's like, we heard that you don't hurt paying customers. We heard that customer's king. And then Majima's like, that's true, but you're not paying customers. If you want to get revenge, come to my club and drink, and I'll grovel at your feet all night. But just make sure you pay the tab.
I'll fucking lick your boots. But
anyway.
Right now you're just assaulting me outside of my home, so I will have to ask you to
bat nunchaku, and they all vaporize into pink mist, and they're gone.
I'm not feeling very good, Mr. Majima.
So that's that. Back inside, Majima's sad little tiny dirty apartment. Cleaner than Kiryu's because it has no furniture.
He just doesn't do anything with it.
Yeah, true. He just lives at his job basically. He's just cracks open a window to smoke his cigarette, and
like
he sees.
I like the window opening because it's like it doesn't just open smoothly. He has to like
it's gotta like
wrench at it.
We all have that shitty window. So he sees some friends, just some good looking normal dudes, some buds outside. There's one guy standing directly across from his apartment, just staring into his soul, just like that guy earlier. Yeah. And there's a guy on the roof.
There's a guy on the roof also staring into his soul. There's a guy on a passing boat staring
there's a boat that just the guy on the boat is staring at him. And then good old cart-pushing homeless man outside, our good friend, staring into his soul. We love it. Majima's a man surrounded by friends.
Yeah, the thing here is Majima is being watched.
Yeah, at all times. There's always people keeping an eye on him to make sure that he's not up to any funny business. Presumably they're with the Omi Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And what does Majima say to close off our chapter?
He says, "This city's a prison. How long till I'm free of these walls, eh, bro?"
Eh, bro? Whew. That's the end. Well, Kyodai, we'll get to that. We'll unpack that next week. But as a person who's just played some of the later games, it really hit me. Really hit me in the feelings, that line. When you play it the first time, you don't really get it, do you?
No. Yeah.
That's it. That's it for Chapter 3. The wonderful character introduction of our good pal, Goro Majima. We'll be with him for a while in this game, and I'll ask you this, and we'll ask you throughout the game. Who do you prefer to play as in this game? Kiryu or Majima? Story-wise and gameplay.
I mean, at this point, like I said at the beginning, Majima's story is probably a lot more intriguing. Like, he's in a much more, like, precarious position, it seems. Like, he had, like, and also it helps that it really only focuses on him. Like,
That's
with
true.
Kiryu, we have to worry about, like, it's all this nonsense with Kazuma that you have to
Tachibana,
sort out.
Nishiki, and Kashiwagi. Yeah, you're right. This is Majima's story, really. Of course, Kiryu is the series protagonist, so we need to get him up to speed and sort of get his place in the story cut out first. Majima, is a character who's around, but he's also never really the main character outside of this game.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like in this game, he is more of a protagonist than Kiryu is. Like,
I think so. He has a lot. His plot is, like, I think,
he's more the emotional core than
he is,
Kiryu
and also he's kind of the driving action. He's the one who makes a lot of the stuff happen in the plot. But I will say it is both their stories for sure.
Yeah.
And I just think, man, of a way to, in terms of ways to introduce your character, especially, not to like fully spoil Majima, but when you see Majima later in the series and versus how you see him now, very different. And when the game comes out and they say, this story you play as Majima, and you're like, oh shit, I wonder what kind of things Majima's going to be getting up to in this game. And he comes out and he's doing customer service.
He's doing customer service, getting champagne poured on him.
Yeah, he's not reacting to anyone taunting him. He's just being very straight-laced, very serious. That's just an amazing way to start out introducing this character for the first time and chronologically. So that's a great chapter. I love this one.
Yeah.
So, do you want to take a break and then get into some edumacation?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna grab some water, and I'll be right back.
And we're back, folks. Welcome to this week's Essence of Education.
Oh boy, I can't wait to hear about what our topic is.
This week we are going to be talking about hostess clubs. Or host clubs. So, hostess clubs are kind of a staple of nightlife in Japan and generally East Asia, although they do exist as far away as California in some cases. So, kind of the deal is that you pay an entry fee, or actually sometimes you don't. There are smaller establishments where you don't pay an entry fee. Those are... Like, I kind of just wrote down notes, so I'm trying to figure out how to structure this on the fly.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
I'm going to leave out that bit about snack bars.
Yeah, that's fine. Snack bars come late. That's another thing.
So generally the deal is that you pay an entry fee and that you get to sit down with a hostess and spend some time with them. So like you in exchange for buying like drinks, which can be pretty expensive. Like you can get like really expensive champagne or like even like champagne towers and stuff where they're like, you know, they pour champagne on the top and it trickles down to all the glasses below. Champagnenomics?
Champagne.
Champagnenomics?
Champagne. Oh, trickle down.
Yeah,
kind of a Reagan.
Yeah, I'm trying to make
Reagan's host club.
Yeah,
we love trickle down champanomics.
I'm Ronald Reagan, baby.
We love to call ourselves Ronald Reagan on like a podcast.
Yeah. So you buy drinks and you spend money, and the host will spend time with you and like keep you company, kind of entertain you with like sort of flirtatious conversation and sometimes like lighter activities like karaoke and such.
Yeah.
In a lot of media, like the stereotypical customer will be like a salaryman or like a lonely guy just kind of looking to unwind after a long day of work with a drink and like a pretty girl in their arm, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's also obviously there's hostess clubs, but there's also host clubs, which is the sort of the other way they have attractive men. And they'll, you know, dance and entertain and talk and they basically, it's just you paying for company basically.
Yeah, they
it's
function
a little strange, I gotta say.
Yeah, they function largely the same, host and hostess clubs. Like there's some little differences that but like we're not really gonna get into that. Like the interaction isn't sexual. Like a lot of clubs have like a no touching policy, like, you know, like the Cabaret Grand. And like it's not like a strip club. Like there's no dancing, there's not any nudity, there's no prostitution. Like this is to be contrasted with like soap lands, which are like soap lands.
Those are like those are like adult massage parlors.
Yeah, that's like a bathhouse basically. Like you go there and a sexy girl can. I looked at the Wikipedia for soap lands and it was like. This form of frottage, also known in America as a pussy job, is like where
oh gosh
is a source of I'm getting too deep into detail, but apparently things like that happen at soap lands. These don't happen at hostess clubs.
I believe there's also it's also a thing that you know, hostesses can take their clients out on dates. Like, they'll take them outside the club, which is a little dangerous sometimes. It can be dangerous. But from what I understand, you know, especially, like, the higher end... I actually once watched a video about, like, the most highest grossing hostess in Japan who, you know, makes, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a week.
Holy
but
smokes.
She basically invests it all back into her clientele. I mean, obviously, she's loaded now. But, like... You know, most of the money that she makes, she actually puts back into her job.
Damn.
Because she wants to, like, buy gifts for her clients because it's all about, like, that connection. It's a very interesting...
there is like a give and take between the hostess and the customer.
It's strange from a perspective of a person who kind of hates speaking to strangers.
Yeah. So
that's basically
I just wanted to unload that thing about soap lands because I was really entertained to see a Wikipedia article with the word pussy job.
pussy job. See also. That will not be the episode title. I've also thought it's quite interesting that being a host or a hostess requires you to drink on the job. Like, you have to drink on the job.
I also saw while I was reading about this that, like, there are some places, like, alcoholism can become a problem But there are some places that'll just give the girls like non-alcoholic drinks.
Oh, I see. But it is a thing that you can, like, a part of your job is to get people to drink a lot and buy expensive, stuff.
Yeah, that can be a dangerous side effect. There are ways to, circumvent that.
It's actually interesting. I think it's nice that no, not nice, but I think it's interesting that there are clubs that are like, well, in order to protect the livers of our employees, and the safety, because it's probably dangerous to be drinking all the time, constantly,
and around strange men.
Yeah, strange men who are also intoxicated. Yeah. It's a weird job, but there's obviously no disrespect to any girls or women who practice that, or men for that matter.
There are.
It's what they say. It's a living.
Yeah. There is Yeah, on the other hand, in 2009, the Kyabakura trade union was formed after like complaints from hostesses for like low pay and awful working conditions.
Are you telling me there's a hostess union?
There is a hostess union.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah,
that rules. Hell yeah!
I didn't write down really if they've made like any major like accomplishments, but yeah, there is a union for them, so that's pretty cool.
Good for them. All unions are good.
Yeah, so hostess clubs are, like I said, they're a staple of nightlife in Japan. They're a staple of nightlife in the Yakuza games. You like pretty much all of them, you can go to a hostess club and they pretty much reflect what I said. You pay an entry fee, you get in, you talk to a girl, and you can converse with them. You can give them gifts, you can buy drinks, you can do all sorts of things, and what this does, it will fill up like an affection bar. And like if you say the right things in conversation, you buy more expensive drinks, you get them better gifts, you will get better and you will get more affection from them, and then usually eventually you'll be able to go on dates with them where you can go out, you can
do karaoke with them, go bowling, play darts.
You can do all sorts of things. That's usually how you get like the there's always a few karaoke songs that you can't sing, like you can only do like backup for, and that's how you get like the actual music videos for them, is that you bring a girl there and she'll sing and you'll do backup. And there is additional hostess club content that we will get in this game that we'll talk about later.
Oh yeah, there sure is. We'll get to it in a little bit. So that's the kind of place that Majima's managing, though I don't think his hostesses are getting murdered. I'm gonna edit that out. All right. We have some questions. If you have a question, you can go to twitter.com/podcastgagotoku. I'll make a post before we do an episode letting you guys know that you can ask us some questions. And if you just leave a comment on that post, we'll answer your question on the podcast. We got 3 this week.
Nice.
We've got one from friend of the show, Maxi Bajillion. It says, aside from the cutscene at the beginning of Chapter 3, what's the single greatest character introduction you've ever seen in a game? I forgot to say this during the episode, but my first time playing through this game when Majima did the thing he did, I joke about everyone in the GameStop applauded. I did actually find myself clapping and standing in my living room, for real, not even like as a joke, for Majima at the beginning of the game.
Nice.
So this is the single greatest character introduction I've seen. I really enjoy also the one from Metal Gear 3 where we meet Big Boss for the first time when he's in the plane, he's smoking the cigar. That one's pretty fun.
Hey, put that cigar out.
I'm a big put that cigar out. He's I think that, when you meet an iconic character for the first time, it's always I guess it's not the first time you meet Big Boss, is it? But, it's the first time we've met David Hayter, Big Boss.
I mean, there's a lot I could go off on, but like the one that I thought of first was Doom 2016.
Which one is that? Is that where he wakes up and just
wake up in the coffin and zombie is walking towards you and you break your chains and just fucking smash its skull open with your bare hands, and then as you go through the thing, you're you see that there's a demonic outbreak, you kill a few zombies, and then you get into the elevator and you're introduced to Samuel Hayden, and he says,
he tells you
I assure you this was all worth it, was a good idea. And you just the Doomslayer just fucking cracks his knuckles and smashes the panel in the elevator, and then it cuts to the musical intro, and then he cocks his shotgun in time with the music, and I clap like a seal.
Iconic. That's so fucking good. Here's one from I believe this is from friend of the show Audrey.
Yes, friend of the show Audrey, who says, will absolutely be on the show at some point, and is also at the rate she is going will beat all of the Yakuza games before either of us do.
Yeah, for sure. So here's a question that says, what lessons can we learn from Majima's stint in customer service? Have you ever worked a customer service job?
Yes, I worked at a grocery store for about 4 years. That was my first job.
I've worked in food service for, I think, like 2.5 years total now. So, I think, here's what I've learned. So Majima is a manager. And, you know, in general, managers, love him or hate him, they make more than you. A lot of the time, they don't do as much work as the people, you know, working hard every day. That's how I feel.
As the people cranking hard in the factories all night.
At the people cranking hard in the Tesla factory every night. Elon does make more than them, and he just posts about fucking Evangelion on Reddit all day. But what have we learned from Majima? Majima's an objectively great manager. He just handed 500,000 yen to one of his employees and gave him days off without any questions. He's great managing club morale. He also is being held at gunpoint at all times and hates his job and hates his life and wants to leave as much as possible. So I believe that what we've learned is that to be a good manager, you don't want to have your job and you'd rather be doing something else. But if you don't do your job, you'll be murdered by the Japanese Yakuza, by the Omi Alliance.
Yes.
I think that's what I've learned. That's the manager
act
who
as if at all times, if you don't do what you're supposed to...
No. Don't act.
Don't
act. It needs to be the reality of your life is that if you don't,
fuck up,
if your manager at McDonald's, if your manager at McDonald's was always at all times being threatened by being sent to the hole.
This is where tortured. McDonald's cashiers who lose their way go. The hole.
No, it's where the managers go. The managers go to the hole. Because the managers are in deep with the Omi Alliance. Or any managers. Managers at all places. So here's a question from friend of the show Mike Dawson, who says, you're on vacation in Osaka in 1989. Do you visit the Grand? If not, where else would you visit in Sotenbori? For the sake of this, let's imagine you have the kind of money to be going on this vacation in the first place. Yeah, it's the fantasy where you find yourself in Sotenbori and the only choice you have is to hit up the Smile Burger for every meal. From my understanding, Sotenbori is like the food district of Osaka.
Yeah.
I've said many times in the episode, I'm not a very social butterfly, so the idea of going to a hostess club is not maybe my idea of fun. Same. It's more my idea of torture. Yeah, if I'm a bad manager, Sagawa and Shimano will send me to the Cabaret Grand where I'll have to talk to people for extended periods of time. Kill me. Send me free.
Please, just tell me where my cashier is.
Yeah. How can I leave? How can I get out of here? I think if I was in Sotenbori at this time, I would go and just have a grand old food time. I'd just go to all the restaurants. That's what I'm thinking.
Pretty great.
That sounds delicious.
Sotenbori Street, there are just a bunch of restaurants up and down. Like, there's a ton of them. Like, there's a little place where I don't know what it's called, but they just like fry everything. So like you could just get like little morsels of fried food.
Oh, I think that's called what's that called? It's karaage,
something
maybe?
like that. It's got like the sculpture of like the guy with the mustache out front.
Oh yeah. No, that's not karaage. No, I know what you're talking about though. That might be. Oh no, it is karaage.
It's a pretty cool place.
There's the takoyaki stand.
Yeah, the takoyaki stand. The picture, we haven't gotten into it, but when you go to a restaurant, like, and order food, they have like actual real pictures of the food that you order, and it always looks so good. Like,
I always wish that the Yakuza games had unlocked the Final Fantasy 15 technology, where when you order the food, it gives you a glamour shot of the meal on the table.
Yakuza 7, we get that bread.
Oh, we get that bread in Yakuza 7,
bread, man.
Well, let's get that bread.
Let's get that bread, but it's actual literal bread.
It is literal bread. It's not. Yeah. So I think Sotenbori, just have a grand old food time.
The place with the big crab,
that's what
the
I'm
place
thinking.
with the big puffer fish.
Good stuff.
I probably wouldn't go to Shot Bar Stigil, but it sounds like a nice place.
Isn't there a place in Kiwami 2, Sotenbori, that's called like Big Iron Steak or something like that? It's like this crazy steakhouse.
I know in Yakuza 5, I've been really entertained by a place. I think it's called like Hungry Tom's Steakhouse or something. Like
Hungry Tom's Steakhouse, that's what it's called. That's right. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
It was Hungry Tom's. Good stuff.
Yeah, I was like in a cutscene as in Yakuza 5 as cut this out as Haruka, and it's like in the background, like right behind Haruka's head, you can just see Hungry Tom's Steakhouse.
Hungry Tom's.
I'm just like, please, could you do this? Could you like at least put the camera at a different angle so I don't have to see this every time? It's kind of ruining the mood.
Yeah, it's like this super emotional scene, and it's set inside the Hungry Tom's, and the waiter comes by and he's like, "Howdy, welcome to Hungry Tom's."
Yeah, I mean, it's right. Like if just like, yeah, I mean, it's like NY Hot Dog, like.
Yeah, it is like NY Hot Dog. They never let you in, but you always want to go in. All right, I think that's enough for today. Those are all of our questions. Thank you for those great questions, and thank you for listening. I'm going to take it to the close, and I'm going to handle it today because you did last time. You've been listening to Like a Podcast. You can find us online at likeapodcast.libsyn.com. We're also on Spotify now, so if you're a Spotify person, you can listen to us there. I'm working on getting us on iTunes. I needed to fix our show art to do that. But yeah, likeapodcast.libsyn.com. You can find us on Twitter at twitter.com/podcastgagotoku. That's podcast GAGOTOKU. Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Bradipusrex. You can find Argyle on Twitter at twitter.com/Argyle_funk. We do some other podcasts. I do Jurgen It with my brother, where we watch and talk about the secret life of the American teenager. We have a new retrospective episode coming out on, I believe, Saturday. And Argyle, where are you at? What are you doing?
I have another podcast called Pot of Greed. It's about Yu-Gi-Oh! You can follow them on Twitter at Pot of Greedcast.
Love it. Got some good episodes coming out soon, I believe. I've been keeping up, and it's been good talking about season 4. Yeah. Love it. It's just blazing through that wild ass season. I believe that is all we have to say this week. Oh, also, you can find us on Noisepace now in the sort of friend of the show podcast zone. Yeah. So that Noisepace network, that's not our new home, but it's where you can get advertised about.
You can also find me at Hungry Tom's Steakhouse.
You can find me at Hungry Tom's Steakhouse too. Just really tearing into a juicy. I am a vegetarian, but I'm tearing into a delicious portobello mushroom.
I'm smashing some ribs. I'm not a vegetarian. I am.
Yeah, you're just sucking them down. You're pulling them off the bone.
I've got like the tablecloth tucked into my shirt, like it's bib.
Rib. You don't have the like Hungry Tom's rib bib?
No, I've got the I'm like a cartoon. I've got the whole tablecloth tucked into my shirt. Like
oh my god!
I'm not wearing gloves. I've got barbecue sauce all over my face. It's on my glasses. I'm going hog wild on some ribs.
Just literally hog wild.
You need to wear a poncho if you get within like 20 feet of my table, or
you're in the BBQ splash.
You're in the sticky zone. You will get splashed with barbecue sauce.
Jesus. All right, that's enough. And as always, Kiwami means extreme.
Bye.
Bye.
素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そう二人でステップアンドゴーいつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって僕らのラブマジックは時計はしないおいでねします